What's up, guys? We're on vacation. Didn't want to get my hands wet because I got my laptop right there, but I got my glasses wet though. We're on vacation, and I'm in a pool. I thought that'd be pretty cool. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did, so here we are. I don't even know what we're doing. This is week 7 recap. Thank you guys for making this a little easier for me this week. Last couple weeks were difficult on the power rankings, but we'll get there. We'll get there. My hair's a mess. Jeez Louise. Forgive me. So starting off, we'll do what we normally do. Start out with our recap. I'll go, a quick little recap, the top 3 scorers, obviously, give a quick little 2 cents, and then we'll hit up the power rankings as always. Like I said, that was a lot easier this week. So starting off, Scott, defending champion, Scott versus Brandwagon. Jeez Louise. I do have the power. Hang on one second. All right, so last week's power rankings, I didn't have a pen, so I actually have it on my laptop, this week's stuff. But last week I have my handy dandy trifold thing here. As you can see, I'm all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. So back to the recap at hand. Scott, power ranking number 1 last week. These are last week's power rankings, not this week. We'll get into that after this. But I try to throw the power rankings in there because it's important. Number 1, Scott versus number, I think it was 6 Brandwagon. Scott comes up with the dub. 184.14 to 171.16. Scott improves to 5-2. Brandwagon's falling down, man. He's 2-5. Wow. I like your team a lot more than 2-5, but that's crazy. Scott puts up his top 3 performers was James Robinson, 38.2. What a waiver ad this year, by the way. Jamal Williams, 26.15, and Matt Ryan, 25.62. Brandwagon had some top scores, but everybody else just shit the bed. He had Brady with 53.61. He had Chase Edmonds with 23.25. He had Ben with 23. But everybody else, I haven't looked at the bench and whatever. I haven't done. Forgive me. I'm on vacation, so I did my due diligence, but I didn't do the extra stuff that you guys are known for me to do. Apologies, but not really. I don't fucking care. I don't know what happened. You still made it close though. 53 from. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Shout out Brandon for drafting Brady, or keeping Brady, I should say. Good. Shout out Scott. He also made that trade this week. I have a trade announcement. Even though you guys are in the group chat and you get emails and shit, I forgot to mention this as well. Ohftt and Scott make a trade. Ohftt receives George Kittle and 4th round swap rights for Scott's. He receives George Kittle and 4th round swap rights, and Scott gets Zeke. Wow, Scott is going to be unstoppable. By the end of the season, once his running backs are all healthy, he's going to have Christian McCaffrey, he's going to have James Robinson, Ezekiel Elliott, and Austin Eckler. I don't know what to say. He inquired about one of my receivers. Sorry if I'm not supposed to say anything, Scott. I don't think it matters because we didn't get anywhere. But he wanted one of my receivers, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, why do you need a receiver for? You can start however many running backs you want. There's so many flexes and shit. It's just funny. I don't know. Moving on. I feel like this is going to be longer than I want it to be because I'm just rambling already. Jesus. It's probably because I haven't really slept much and I've had a long night. Moving on. The second member of that trade happens to be the next matchup. Ohftt versus Craig. Ohftt was the power ranking number 9 versus Craig at power ranking number 7. Ohftt does squeak this one out here. Poor Craig, man. Every week he's so fucking close. But shout out Ohftt. He did what he needed to do. But just like Brandon, he was very top heavy. Herbert with 53.63. Chris Godwin 23.8. And then his fucking kicker had 18 points. I don't know. 18 points at it just 50. I'm worried about you, Ohftt. I like your team on paper, and I'm not, you know how I feel about your team. However, they're not doing it. And Ohftt won. No, I lost. Not Ohftt. Herbert Jeez, we're calling him Herbert. He's not Justin Herbert, he's Justin Herbert for Matthew Hobert. If you guys see that, give me a shout out. I don't know, that came out of nowhere. You should change the team name from Herbert's Heroes to Herbert's Heroes. I'm doing too much. Craig, man. Oh, man. Less than a point. 0.97 points you lost by. Every week. What is that, third week? I'm not going to do the research. I don't care enough. But I feel bad. Like, I hate watching the same person lose so close each week. It's so unfortunate. And he's minus the 147 this week, Craig. But, I mean, you had Breeze with 34.73, Bridgewater with 30.56, Gurley still put up 26.95 points. Nobody saw that coming this year. You're right, like, you're right there, Craig. Like, the last 3 to 4 weeks, you're right fucking there. And that's why you've been in you were at number 7 with a 1-6 record, because your points are there. You're just not getting the love on your opponent. You know what I mean? They're just not blowing up, but just doing what they need to do to win. And that's just, I just feel bad. I hate when it happens to me. I hate when it happens to my friends. So, shout out Herbert. Moving on. Herbert improves the 4-3 world. Craig falls to 1-6, in case I didn't mention that. Moving on to the matchup of the week, and boy was it. Liam versus Will. This was 2 versus 3. So this was this was the battle for number 2, unless Scott lost. And boy, did things go wild for Will. Liam put up a solid 184.89. Guys, I know I gave Liam flack last week, and whatever for not starting Tannehill, whatever the case may be. But he's putting up 184 points, and that's a bad week. Watch out for Liam. The only reason he lost is because Will put up 260.31 points. A new record, by the way. Shout out to Will. Big shout out. That's huge, dude. And it's really funny. I threw in the group chat too. Your lowest scorer was Nick Foles with at the time it was 8.44. I don't know what he ended up with. It's crazy to me. Even your kicker put up more points. Everybody put up double digit. I think your kicker had 14. But, I mean, so Liam's top 3 scorers were Kansas City's defense, 29.94, which they blew up for me all over the board in different leagues. Matthew Stafford, 24.95. And Tannehill, I knew he was going to put him in, he just didn't. Good thing you sat Minshew, bro. I wouldn't have, but you made the right calls this week. So shout out to Liam for doing that. I know you got cute last week. Excuse me, with benching Tannehill. So you're getting cute over there, but it worked out this week, so respect to you. I'm going to click on this matchup just because Will deserves the love. So I'm going to read off. This is 260 points. 260 points. Okay, so I'm not doing this on a regular basis. I probably won't do this very often, if ever, going through and doing this specifically. But I'm showing a lot of love to Will this week because, that's a huge, huge deal. 260 points, dog. Scott did 255 and some change in week 2. That was the record, and Will beat it because his team's fucking good. There's a reason why, even though he's 4-3, he still hasn't gone farther down than I think 5th in the power rankings because his team is just solid. Sometimes they just shit the bed. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Nick Foles, 8.44. The embarrassment of the week. But then you go further down. James Conner, 18.1. DeAndre Swift, 17.05. Devontae Adams, 46.6. DJ Moore, 27.3. Alvin Kamara, 26.3. Terry McLaurin, 24. Kyler Murray with 54. Washington's defense, 24.52. Even his kicker, like I said, Zane Gonzalez put up 14 points. That's just so fucking solid, Will. I have to show love on that. That was awesome. Even on his bench, he left Boston Scott there for 21.2 points. You should have sat Foles. Oh, that's crazy, though. Very crazy. Back to the task at hand. I got to get back. I clicked, and here I am. All right, there we go. So shout out to Will. He improves to 4-3 as Liam falls to 5-2. But Liam, bro, don't stress it. I know you're not stressing it because your team is very, very good. Moving on, we got Phil versus Eric. Phil versus Eric. 158.42 for Phil to 133.86 for Eric. Poor Eric. I don't know what to make of your team right now. Like, this is listen. Okay, so Phil's top three: Rogers with 41.02, Keenan Allen with 23.5, and David Johnson with 19.9. Then you go down to Eric's. He only put up 133 points, but it's he has AJ Brown with 30.3, Jared Allen. Is his name Jared? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna click because I'm making an idiot of myself. No, I do. Josh Allen. Jesus, why did I think Jared Allen? Is there a person in the world? I'm sure there is, but is there a person in the football world named Jared Allen? Yeah, he was the DN. I remember he's a defensive end. He played for the Vikings. Got traded to the Chiefs, actually. I think. I don't know. Whatever. Sorry, Josh Allen. And Tyreek Hill 17.5. Back to what I was saying though. I mean, if you only put up 133 points and like those are your top three performers, I haven't looked. I know Cam Newton was benched. He had 3 picks. I don't know who else is on your team off the top of my head, and you didn't put up 260 points, so I'm not going to go through and look. But, I'm worried about you, buddy. I showed you a lot of love in the beginning, and it didn't last. It's not because I don't want to. It's just your team stopped showing up for work, apparently. I still lost to you. But I got cute. I deserve to lose. That's fine. So Phil improves to 5-2 as Eric falls to 3-4. Moving on to Dylan versus Gary. I'm sorry, Greg. Apologies. We got Greg in the building. I love making myself laugh. 183.91 for Dylan to 173.29 for Greg. Shout out Dylan getting a second dub. That's big. Showed up this week. Deontay Johnson showed up this week for you. That was big. Top performers: Joe Burrow 44.24, Carson Wentz 35.41, Deontay Johnson, as I said, 29 points. For Gary, he had some top-heavy performers. Tyler Lockett with 55, almost won the fucking game. Deshaun Watson 34.61, Buffalo's defense with 23.43. I mean, solid outings. It's just your bottom half fell apart. Like, all you needed was 10 points from Tyler Higbee, and Tyler Higbee shit the bed. Like, he had 0. He got the 0 of the 10, like in the 10. He just didn't get the 1 in front of it. Yeah, shout out Dylan. Good shit, Dylan. Get yourself that second dub. Let me know if you're ready to move Michael Thomas, because I want him. Since he doesn't want to play. Alright. On to the final matchup. Kyle versus Cody. 174.91 for Kyle to 176.91 for Cody. Giving Cody a little bit of a scare there. There was definitely a good I hopped on a flight looking at, my flight was about 3 o'clock, and I was hating life looking at all my fantasy, not just this one, and the thought of losing to Kyle, but every league. I was like gonna throw my phone off the plane in the sky. Like, I was so angry. But I came back. Shout out to my team. I love them. Baker. So back to top 3 performers. Kyle's top 3 performers showed up. Baker 45.43. It was against the Bengals though, so take it for what it is. I don't think it's going to happen every week. Might happen again this year because they play the Bengals again, but you never know. Tyler Boyd with 29.04 and Kyle Allen with 24.36. And then Cody's top performers were Russell Wilson 43.92, DeAndre Hopkins 25.3, and Antonio Gibson 24.8. Yeah, I mean, shout out Dangerous Wilson. I mean, you're really swimming in some dangerous shark waters over there when you come over to this side of the pool or the pond or the matchup or something. I'm just saying words of this words English. Shout out Cody. Improves to 5-2, 3-4 for Kyle. You put up some good points this week, Kyle, but unfortunately you played me, and that's unfortunate for you. You beat mostly everybody else. You beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other teams. So you know, good week this week. Just played the wrong guy, just like Craig every week, playing the wrong guy. That's it for your week 7 preview. Again, shout out to Will. That's huge for you. Now we're on to our power ranking. Move this. You have a little sticky note. If you, I'm not gonna. I don't fucking care. I got a little sticky note here with our power rankings on it because I didn't have a pen to write them down on my handy dandy little paper there. Power rankings for heading into week 8. At number 12, Eric. All I can say is your team is on the wrong way down on the trend, man. I just hope that you pull your parachute and stop just free falling. Number 11, we got Kyle. I mean, you put up 174 points. I'm still not a fan of your team. And you lost this week. You know, I know you put up 174 points, but I don't know, man. As far as your team's concerned, I'm just not in love with it. Baker's not very dangerous. Shout out free cap. No cap. Dead ass. Let's do it. Free cap. No cap. I don't have a cap on either, so let's get Cap back on the field. Kaepernick. Number 10, we got Craig. Unfortunately, Craig, you lost again. Another close matchup. It's just unfortunate, but you know, that's why we play the games. That's why I love this game. Whether I'm doing well or not, you know, obviously I get really upset about shit, but it's just, that's how the games are. Number, where are we at? 12, 11, 10, 9. I should put numbers on these. I don't know. I just type names in. We got Dylan. Shout out Dylan getting a second dub, putting up a solid 100 and, how many points you put up, Dylan? 183 points. That's solid, you know. Worthy of number 9. Up to number 8, Gary with his loss. Who did he lose to? Oh, he lost to Dylan. You know what? I'm switching that. I obviously didn't take the time to think about it. Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, just because you beat Gary, you're at number... Jeez. I should have put the numbers down. Gary's at 9, Dylan's at 8. Okay? So 12 Eric, 11 Kyle, 10 Craig, 9 Gary, 8 Dylan. Okay? 7 we got Hobert. You did get the dub, Hobert. So you moved up a couple spots. However, you only did it with 143 points because Justin Herbert put up 53 points. So I'm trying to get you back up the ladder. I like your team a lot. You know how I feel. Like on paper, your team is probably one of my top 3 favorite teams, not including my own team in this league. On paper, just 148 points, barely squeaking by Craig. I do worry about you. Moving on to 6. Brandwagon stationed at 6 still. I believe you were 6 last week as well, Brandwagon. You had a solid outing, 171 points. I would have put Hobert above you there. However, you know, you just outscored him. Even though he got the win, he lost. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a system, and I'm doing the best I can. It's hard. I mean, this was an easier week. I probably shouldn't have thought. I probably should have thought about it a little bit more, but it's fine. I don't know. Brandwagon 6. Cody moves up to 5 after a solid win over Kyle. 176 points. Shout out Cody. Number 4, we got Liam. He did get the loss, but he put up 184 points. So he definitely keeps him in the top 4 because Liam is a top 4 team all season. It don't matter what I think, don't matter what you think. I'm just saying he does it all season. And he's won this league before, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out Liam. He might not have. He did win this league before. He did. Yes, he did. I don't remember what year it was. Probably 2 years ago? 2 or 3? Shout out Liam. Phil, you're at number 3 with... I mean, you beat Eric. Not that, not that that was much of a challenge. Even though I lost Eric. So I guess it's a little bit of a challenge. I don't know. Two other people lost to Eric too, so he did put up 200 points in those weeks. So Phil, yeah, you're up at number 3. Your team is so solid, Phil. I love your team. Where are we at? Okay, so this is where things got probably the trickiest of anything when I was doing this. Scott obviously is number 1, but like he's not on the power rankings number 1. I had to put Will up there. 260 points. I had to do it. Throw the hate in the chat. You know how I feel about both of your teams, okay? It's like, you know, it could switch next week. Scott could easily throw up another 250 points next week. So, Will, you're at number 1. Shout out Will. Scott, you're at number 2. Phil at number 3. Liam at number 4. Cody at number 5. Brandwagon 6. Hobert's at 7. Dylan's at 8. Gary's at 9. Craig's at 10. Kyle's 11. And Eric's at 12. That's your power rankings. I'm sure that if you're upset, you're more than welcome to give your free speech there. Just let's not make it novels. I'm not going to read all that shit. Like, I don't care. I love all of you, and I respect all of your opinions, and I value them. But I don't, like, I'm a person. I make mistakes, and I'm not perfect either. So, it is what it is. It's just fun. I love you guys. I'm on vacation, as I said. You guys want to go for a swim with me? But yeah, hope you guys are staying healthy, staying safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with our week 8 preview video. That's about it. Adios, amigos.